Ooh, red. Oh, hey, this is not Arabia. This is mega random. Okay, it's kind of a little Acropolis-y looking. I think I know this mega random. Yeah. Um, there are only 2 relics in the middle. Still good to take them, but so let's take a look at this map. You do want to scout. Actually, here, we'll take a look at the map as we scout it. You know about gold. You don't know about the stone yet. So in this map, we've got a bunch of cows. We know about 2 boars. So if there's 2 boars and you have some cows, you know that you can still get up to feudal age at a fairly reasonable time. So yeah, you could be looking to go like just 20 pop scouts. Pretty standard stuff. 1200 elo is the level here. And yeah, just lumber camp there. No problem. You know about the berries as well. It's only a 4 berry bush though. It's like if you make a mill there, there's not a lot of berries to work through. But anyways. So Britain's is going to be happy with all of these cows. Although I'm not sure if there's any extra. Yeah, there is maybe a little bit of extra food. Yeah, it looks like there's extra food compared to normal. Maybe 2 extra cows. So yeah, Britain's is going to benefit a lot from that. But as the Teutons, you're going to have the better farms. So that can be pretty good. Now, Teutons, they kind of die against CA, but they can sort of deal with crossbowmen a little bit. Like, their skirms are fine. They have full upgrades in Castle Age, and then they get the armor in the late game. So, yeah, they don't have Bracer, but honestly, it's completely fine. If Britain's is just going to go full archers, you can go skirms as the Teutons, and then add in knights or whatever. Or you could even go full knights. Britain's, they don't have thumb rings, so if you go full knights, you get in close. Their archers actually have less DPS than regular crossbowmen that have thumb ring. So the Britain archers, their advantage is, of course, they have the extra range. But if you get in close, extra range doesn't do anything, and they don't have thumb ring because of the extra range. So you can kind of think of it being like Britain crossbowmen are worse against knights than regular crossbowmen. So going knights against them is good. But of course you don't have husbandry as Teutons, so it kind of cancels it out a little bit. Somewhat. So yeah. Let's see. Pushing deer, alright. Hopefully that doesn't make this number go up at all, but so far so good, actually. So far you've been pretty good with pretty much everything that you've done here has been good so far. So that's great. That's what we like to see. Get a nice kill right onto the TC. Very good. And perfect timing on the boar lure. Dude, this guy's smurfing. This is like a perfect Dark Age so far. Nice. Well, if we're 1200 and our Dark Age is perfect, that means we're going to have some issues later on. That's for sure. That's usually what that means. So we'll be looking towards Feudal Age to see what the issues are. All right, and mill down there. Yeah, you need a mill to go up anyways, so you just kind of have to do it. 2000 elo, Dark Age, 800 others. Yeah, that's how it always is. I've seen 1k elo do like perfect Dark Age before as well. It's pretty crazy. And yeah, 20 up. Wait, will you have? Nah, you won't have the res though, right? You need to go one more, I think. Maybe with the force drop. Oh my god. Oh, look at that perfect timing. It was like 2-second idle, but it's fine. That was perfectly timed with the mill too. So wow. And then instantly rebalancing the economy. One thing I would say is second wood line. Second wood line for sure. Look at all the wood lines you have to choose from. Even here, and then wall this off, wall this, wall to the edge. No reason to. This is just inefficient. Like, unless you're going for a very early attack, or you're really concerned about really exposed wood lines. Just better to have 2 wood lines. Like, look, this guy has to walk like 5 tiles to go here. So, yeah. That's the major mistake, I would say. Because this efficiency is just not going to do you any favors here. It's just, yeah. If you made a second wood line and then maybe took a bit of stragglers, you still would have been able to get the production building up. Actually, you probably wouldn't have even needed it to. You just would have needed 9 instead of 8. And look, this is what happens. Like, this guy can't even work. He still can't even work. He's actually going to stand there. Okay, he's squeezed through, but still. He stood there for almost 30 seconds, like 54%. If it goes down to 50%, that's 30 seconds, right? So, yeah, it's really important. A little bit early on this, but happens stable. Okay, nice. What do you scout? You see he has forward berries. So that's kind of okay. You see this is open, too. He doesn't have any forward... Oh, he does have... No. He doesn't have any forward wood line. So actually, it's easier to attack him if he doesn't get his walls up. You at least have kind of this and this. A little easier to wall to. Maybe. Okay, you got to be a little careful here. Wait, did he skip loom? He skipped loom. He's so greedy. Oh, man. If you had found this guy, that guy's dead, right? So, we're a bit of a missed opportunity. Okay, we're going to go for heavy aggression here. All right. You can't really wall if you're going such heavy aggression, though. If you're going to go for the stable and the archery range, I think you're best to just resource wall. Because then you have more resources for farms, more resources for units. If you're going to go to production buildings initially. Eventually, you want to get your farms up. Or, sorry, your walls up. But initially, I don't think you should be able to afford walls and this. If you can afford walls, that means you should have spent those resources on farms and more scouts, for example. Because you're going to run into the problem where you're going to run out of res here. We missed the house as well, which is easy to miss, but should be on the wall. Yeah, see, missed double bit axe early. So we're not even using this. We got this, but we're not even using this. So that's wasted resources. Farms are coming down now, but, well... Maybe a little bit late, right? Instead of this, how many farms is that for Teutons? That's like, what, 5 farms? Instead of the archery range, which is not being used. Imagine all of these were farming right now. Imagine how many scouts you could afford. So, getting the production building, you have to be using it. You can't get a production building and then not use it. That's just actually very wasteful. Redeem for a replay. I mean... Don't redeem today. I won't do any redeems. We're gonna give out free replays via lottery. Redeem next time. But yeah, a little bit more intelligent order of placing your buildings, and you would have had 2 skirms forward here. If you just got the farms first, then the archery range after, you could have had the skirms made. You have 2 skirms here. You kill the spear, and then suddenly your scouts could do stuff. So instead, we just kind of have these scouts that aren't really doing anything. He has spears in pretty good spots. Actually, he should have 1 spear down here. But anyways, your scouts are just chilling back here, so it's fine. But I do like that you are getting the walls up. 1 more house back here, and then you're good. Yeah, walls are looking good. No horse collar, which if you're not going to get horse collar, then skipping it with Teutons is better. Since their farms are cheaper, they benefit the least from horse collar upgrade. But it's still good to get. If you're not going to go for a lot of aggression, which, yeah. Basically, you can't really die here because of the base layout is pretty good, and you can easily just wall behind. So I don't think you need to make more skirms. I think the play from here is to just try and get to the castle age. Like, you could make skirms, but... It's just going to delay Castle Age, and if the opponent gets to Castle Age with his archers, he'll just still kill the skirms for free. So, making skirms now is just going to actually hurt your military strength later, because when you make military units, that's at the cost of other things. So there's 3 main categories that you can spend resources on in this game. That being, well, you see the score at the end of the game, right? It's military, technology, and economy. So if you invest into military now, that means you're not investing into technology and you're not investing into economy. But military is only good if you actually use it to attack the opponent. Technology could be like eco-techs, which help the eco. Well, that's kind of investing into eco, right? Technology would be more like fletching on your skirms instead of more military. So you could, for example, in the situation where you're up against archers, do you want to get fletching? Do you want to get armor? Do you want to get both? So it's like, if you get armor, it's going to make your units take 1 damage from the enemy archers. If you get fletching, the 1 extra range does help a little bit, but it's all at the cost of something. So if you have like 4 skirms, and you're considering what do you want to spend your resources on, well, armor could be okay, but you don't really want to have like armor and fletching there. It's better to just get more units, right? So more military instead of technology. But in this situation, the skirms aren't actually doing anything. So if you're not actually using them, it's better to expand your economy. So getting maybe even earlier horse collar or earlier castle age. So I like that you stopped at 6. 6 is probably too many. Even 4 would have been fine. But yeah, if you had constantly made skirms, it would have been a huge mistake. So I think you still made a good play here. 1 minute idle TC definitely could be worked on, but I mean, the opponent idled for 4 minutes, so yeah. Yeah. Scared of archers? Well, you should be. That's a healthy fear when the opponent is playing as Britons. And this is where you need a scout. So remember, you clicked up. Now, it's not, I'm just going to chill and look at my farmers until I'm up. No, it's, I'm going to look at my scouts and try and see exactly what he's doing. We know he's on 2 stables, or 2 archery ranges, so we kind of have an idea he's going to be making archers. He's not really revealing them yet, but you can kind of tell he's Britons. So I would be constantly making skirms. So you click up to Castle Age, and then you get your first 35 wood, 25 food, and you start making skirms again. Because skirmishers, they take, 21 seconds to build? Castle Age takes 160 seconds, I believe. So that's kind of like 7 units that you could have. You could have doubled your army size on the way to Castle Age and then upgrade them. And then suddenly you have like 13 skirms with Castle Age upgrades, and then you can fight as archers. But if we wait till the next age, then it's not going to be as good. We're getting armor. I think if you're going to go knights, you need 2 stables, though. Imagine you had enough guys. See, now we're getting skirms, but we only have 6 guys, and it's not going to be enough. Yeah. See, it was 2 range. Yeah, you saw the 2 ranges pretty, like, a long time ago, too. Now the problem is that we got cavalry armor. The knights are going to do nothing because you won't have enough of them. Knights are only good if you go 2 stables here. 1 stable is not going to be enough. We didn't create skirms on the way up to Castle Age, so now we have to wait for Elite Skirm to finish. 6 skirms will do 0 because, well, we don't even have the armor. We needed the armor. Like, look, they just die. They just die. Well, actually, armor doesn't even do anything against these, but once they upgrade. What we need... Well, yeah, instead of armor, we probably could have done fletching, right? In this situation, because armor doesn't do anything against these. But what we really needed was units. So your biggest mistake here was not creating elite skirmishers or skirmishers on the way to the Castle Age. Do you see any advantages from doing 2 ranged openings instead of 1? Yeah, I mean, two range is definitely a build that you can do. Like 2 range archers, it's fine. 2 range archers can beat skirmishers even sometimes if the opponent's open. Misclick on the cav archers. Okay. You really can't do a composition here, though. I think that, like, just full skirms would have been good. Until he makes something that counters skirms, you go full skirms. Because it's just going to slow you down, making armor here. But I think at this point, actually, full knights is probably okay. Maybe, although he's getting a lot of archers. So, yeah, that extra range on the crossbow's not very fun to play against sometimes, but you still have a big window of opportunity to do damage. So I do like that you're adding TCs. You have map control. You pushed them back, so your TCs could have been outside of your base. I think you could have deleted this house and just gone and put it here. It would have been better. Okay. So you can put pressure here, but you can't really break in. But the good thing is that you're just booming, so you don't actually have to do damage here. You just have to be able to fight this when he gets to your base. So when he gets to your base, you need to have something that can fight this. Otherwise, you die. You have lots of time. A siege workshop here, yeah, he has extra range, but even if you make some scorpions on the front, it could be good. Mangonels are okay, but I think scorpions, you get like 3 scorpions, it's really hard for him to stay out of range and like dodge all the shots. Scorpion Knight is pretty good here too. But yeah, Skirmisher is quite good, but you need enough of them. Mangonels, yeah, Mangonels, they get outranged by the crossbones, so the crossbones just dance around them. I do like the skirms, though, but I would rather have seen fletching and bodkin arrow instead of these knights. It probably would have been better. Because then you could have actually just done some damage. You just get a good mass of units, go forward, maybe a couple of knights to help with the palisade gates. But you add those after. Now the siege workshop's here, but it could have been here. But you're just booming so much better than the opponent. So it really comes down to that, right? If you're booming better, it's going to be good. Your opponent knows he's pretty far behind, but he is Britons. He still could add TCs maybe because they're cheaper, but I think he needs to go for a big attack here. He is going to add TCs, but he probably needs to get forward siege. I think if I'm the Briton player here, making my upgrades, go here. His huge mistake is that he's not at your base. He should be at your base like in 1 second when crossbone. Bodkin should be in now, and he should be like just killing something. He should be here, could be in the back here, but you can't just upgrade your units and then sit at home with them. It doesn't make any sense. Often afraid to invest in skirms. Yeah, I think it's fine. Skirms are usually a pretty good bet against Britons, especially as well. And Teutons, their skirms are fine. As I said, they're just lacking Bracer, but that's not even the important upgrade. The important upgrade for skirms is the final armor, which they do have. So they're even fine going into that late game stage. Castle here, all right. It's not horrible. I think that Britons are a little hard to deal with in the late game for Teutons, just because that death ball is a little hard to fight. Because, well, not having the range, it's not like it's completely fine. It is bad to lack Bracer, but yeah, it's kind of okay. But a big ball of arbs is always hard to deal with no matter what. And since you don't have Siege Ram, you don't really have an easy way to break Britons. Britons struggles against Siege Ram. But of course, Britons does have champions, so they can do that. But yeah. So I think that, yeah, if you can deal with this in Castle Age, you're okay. But if you can't, it's going to be tough. And I think we're going to see why one Mangonel is just not great here. He gets outranged by these, and yeah, it's not great. But we're so far ahead economically that honestly, like, you could go full skirms from here and just flood skirms, and it would be fine. If he goes knights, you have enough skirms to just kill the knights even. And these knights take 2 damage when he doesn't have the final armor. So, what we don't want to do is go across the map with 8 random guys. That's what we definitely don't want to do here. Where's that Cav Archer? Oh, it's still here. It's funny. Okay, often ahead economically, but I get the timing of the attack wrong. Okay, yeah, so you want to attack, well, when with a upgrade timing or with like a military advantage timing. Usually it's a technology timing. So as soon as you get to the next age, you get a technology from that age, and then you attack. So, for example, in Castle Age, when you got up to Castle Age here, when was that? Like, yeah, it was like right here. Right here, you had, if you were making guys on the way up, you would have had like 13 guys. You don't even need the second armor because, well, actually, you don't even need any armor if you have the Elite Skirm upgrade. So a Bodkin arrow would be good. Imagine you have 13 guys. You let them in. You ungarrison on this side. You kill all of these because you get the proper upgrades. And then you can go forward. You can get a forward siege workshop. You can even start ramming stuff down. Then you win, basically. But you need to do that early in the age. You need to do that right away. You can't be like, okay, I'm going to add TCs. I'm going to do whatever. It has to be as soon as possible when you get to the next age. So we'll talk about that again when we're thinking about Imp, which we're at Imp here. So what's the plan for Imp? We want to have an Imperial Age upgrade coming in. Well, we're going cavalry, right? Not really. We should have more cavalry, honestly. But yeah, we're making Mangonels is really not the play against Britons. 100%, because they're just going to get even easier to kill once he upgrades. Ironclad only affects melee. So you should have double the knights here. And the timing, the Imp timing should be final armor on the knights. And then you can take a fight. Because if you have final armor, that's going to be 2 + 4, which is 6 pierce armor. These guys do 7 damage. So you're taking 1 damage per arrow if you get the final armor. It's a huge difference. So you get like 20 knights together with final armor. You crush this with 20 knights. But you have to have the final armor. But instead, we wasted our resources on mangonels. We just don't have enough stuff. Like, we're spending too much resources on random stuff. If we just full focused on the knights with that one upgrade and hit that timing, it's going to be good. But we are not using imp at all here. There are 0 Imperial Age upgrades coming in. So at least you should get conscription pretty much every game, because it's just really good. But if you go up, you need to be using the technology that you now have access to. You want to make honors. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just not good against Britons. Skirmishers armor first are also attacked. I have a video on that. Also, I've gone over it. Just really depends on what you're up against. So, yeah, it's not a simple answer. But, okay, Cavalier. Cavalier increases your attack by 2 and gives you 20 HP, which is not really that important. What's really important is getting the final Pierce armor. Because +2 Pierce armor makes his guys do 1 damage. Not having that, his guys do 3 damage. Having that, his guys do 1 damage. Huge difference. So that's the big priority here. Cavalier without the final armor is garbage, but Knights with the final armor, better than Cavalier. So, like, you would rather have Saracen Knights with full armor upgrades. They don't get Cavalier, by the way. Than, like, any Cavalier without the final armor. Like Mongols, for example. Cavalier look cooler? Yeah. So now we still have the eco advantage. We can't really push because we don't have the upgrade that allows us to use the units effectively. He needs to secure this gold, actually. He's going to run out of... Well, he has this gold, but yeah. So opponent's going to be up. But I think even just full skirms would have been fine, though. You have such an eco lead. You could have had a big ball like this. But now it's like, okay, onager, but you will never get a big shot against Britons, right? You will never. He's just going to run. Exactly. Hey, Alligator Jack. Imp Saracen's greater than Mongol Cavalier. Yeah, well, in general. If you fought them together, the Mongol Cavalier is going to win. If it's like Knight versus Mongol versus Cavalier. But against ranged units, the Saracen Knight is going to perform better because of the Pierce armor. Okay, so we got Ironclad. But we don't have any siege. Oh, well, I mean, we're going to go onagers, but guess what? It's just melee armor. Doesn't do anything against these. The onagers mistake cost me a lot. Yeah, I think so. Not one. Well, we don't need Trebs here. Trebs just die to the Arbs. Trebs do 0. Trebs is not the play here. Gonna go Crenellations. All right, fair enough. Crenellations, but I can't believe we don't have Bodkin Arrow yet, though. Bodkin is so big. Bodkin Arrow. And could have gone for like full Paladin. 1 big Paladin army or just full full Skirms. Would have been good. Obviously, Britons can counter Skirms with, well, their own Skirms or their own onagers or champions. Like, they have a lot of options, or light cav is their standard. But you go Skirms to force him to make a counter so that he's not just going full whatever he wants to do. We get Teuton's SC with +4 is better than Polish Winged Hussar versus arrows. Is it? Is it, though? I mean, they take less damage, but they have considerably less HP, though. Right? Makes the fully armored knights even scarier if your opponent will be less intimidated by your cav with their archer. Yeah, exactly. That +4 armor is such a key upgrade. It's just as key as getting, say, something like Bracer for Arbs. There it is, but, I mean, our army's just too small, right? I think the main thing was just that mistake of going for onagers here, but it was a valuable lesson. You'll never get even close with these things. Yeah. Predictable. But your eco is still so far ahead that you can kind of afford to make a few mistakes like this, and it's not the end of the world. But I think what you need here is just Skirms. Just needs to be Skirms. There's the conscription. That's good. Skirms, Bodkin Arrow. You're going to run out of gold on the map. Looks like there's not that much gold. There's enough for 1 or 2 big armies, but yeah, here's your 1 army. You can replace this like once. Oof. Britain Cavalier. Now that's a little bit weird, but well, seems to be doing the job. Yeah, Paladin. Wait for Paladin. Basically, you want to wait for Paladin. You want to wait for all your upgrades. Once you have Paladin, that'll be fully upgraded, but he's going into Halbs now, so That's where the skirms are good. Because you know what skirms are good against? Both of these units. There we go. Yeah. In this situation, the plate barding armor, the +4, is so important because the Britons player was still in Castle Age forever. So if your opponent's in Castle Age and you get that +4 upgrade, he's dead. He has to go pikeman. Yeah, but it's all about the timing. You have to do that as fast as possible. You can't just get it eventually. You have to get it as soon as you get to the next stage and then attack. Should blue attack from the sides? Yeah, using mobility is good. But I think that what blue can do is just make a big paladin army with some trebs and go for a push to the side or to the center. So he's making trebs now. So what he should do is consolidate everything here and attack the center. But red's economy is garbage, which also means that he's going to have like 100 military. So that's going to be hard to deal with. I think you just ignore this. It's like, yeah, that's going to go down. Let's just push this. Unfortunately, you're on the low ground, but you'll eventually get it up or get it down. I think to stop this side, you want to be making skirms back here and then push this side. Something like that. Or you could queue skirms here. It's just like if he goes into here, you can kind of bring everything together and hit him all at the same time. So you do have the better score here, or the score is neck and neck. Paladins are a very strong unit, especially Teuton Paladins with the extra melee armor, which I'm not sure if it affects the number of hits for pikemen, but it definitely helps against these Cavalier. All the vills. You actually had too many vills anyways, so losing those vills is fine. Opponent's got halbs now, but it's only 11. Oh, no. Why are we leaving the siege? We leave the siege unattended, and now they're all going to die to the Cavalier. Really good job by red seeing that, but yeah, you should never... You don't need all of this to go here. Definitely needed to protect the siege a bit better. Oh, yeah. That was a disaster. At least you need to be able to... You need to kill everything here. If you kill everything here, it's fine. Sort of. But he's going to go into a little hole, and you're not going to be able to do it. Oh, you see him. Okay. All right. It's fine. You can get behind him here. You will kill these. You will kill these. Paladins are really good. He didn't really get his guys as squished in there as he could have. So they will die. We don't have to look at that. Okay. So I like your Vill count a bit better. Being at 130 Vills means that you can throw armies and it's okay. So losing the siege was not that bad. Him losing 60 arbs there was horrible. So actually it was good. 60 shots to kill one paladin. Yeah. So you just want a big battle. Your opponent doesn't really have anything. Killing little armies here and there is good. Maybe you didn't see them. Yeah, just going for another push now. He just lost his main unit. But guess what? He's making halbs. He's going full halbs. So you need something. Paladin halb is good. But I still think skirms would have been great. Nice. Doing some damage. Hopefully you realize when the halbs come in, because we definitely don't want to throw these paladins for no reason. He's going to be here, and so you need to... Yeah. Yeah, just get out. Just get out. Oh, boy, the regroup's into there. Oh, yeah. Well, that was a lot of paladins for free, though. We needed to maybe not lose, like... Oh, my God, like 10 paladins. Oy. Losing half the paladins. We need to regroup here. Like, if he's coming from this direction, don't go this way. Go back here so that they, like, regroup down here and then go out. We're to do pikes versus Britons as Teutons. I mean, not really. What we should have done was skirms. The halbs were not great. I mean, if it's halb versus halb, yeah, Teuton wins, but I really think skirms was better. Champions is not good to go in here. Champions doesn't really make sense, I think. Yeah. Unless you're going... I mean, a ram push could be good. Rams is always good as the Teutons. Well, just against Britons in general. But as the Teutons with Ironclad, it's really good too. Oh, going to be impossible to protect this one, unfortunately. But yeah. Yeah, final armor is going to be useful against the Arbs a little bit. Okay, with the one onager, maybe. Yeah, let's fall back to the hill. Fall back to the hill. Or take the fight there. I mean, you still win the fight, right? Like, you do have better units. Your guys will be fine, I think. Oh, oh, oh. I wonder if he has Werewolf. I guess he doesn't have Werewolf yet. I guess you didn't win the fight because you didn't have enough units. But it's fine. You can lose little battles like this, and it's still better for you. Now I realize there's no more gold. Yep, and that's why you added a trash unit in the mid-game here, because there wasn't that much gold in the map. And once the gold's gone, well, who's going to win the trash war? Britons will probably win because their skirms have extra range. And he has full upgrades at the blacksmith. So, yeah. And your scout caps are kind of garbage, so... Herb plus Hal feels clear skirm plate? What? No. Skirm is good against both of those units. Skirm is great. But now we're going into, like, champions, but there's no gold. So, just a few unit choice mistakes. I think those are the main things. Like, if we just made better decisions on the unit choices, I think you would easily win this. Yeah, your eco management was quite good early. Feudal Age still needed a bit of work. There was a little bit of vital TC. And, of course, we got that early archery range that we didn't use. So that was a bit of a mistake. But, yeah, now we're kind of making champions, which is not even good against what he has. So, more Paladins. Another round of Paladins with Skirms in there. Would have been so good. But now he's just going to slow push. It's crazy because his economy is so bad, actually. There is a little bit of gold, actually. His economy is so bad, but he has that death ball that's really hard to beat. And that's another reason why Skirms are really good, because you can pick off halbs and stuff here and there. So he can't just keep his death ball alive forever. But yeah, GG's. We learned a lot. Nice replay. Too many people underestimate the humble skirmisher, the best unit in the game. Agreed. Skirmishers are great. The best unit.